Hello everyone, Yxlarb here, and I'm here bringing you a very important update video. And it might take a little time, so please bear with me and stick through until the end if you can. As you can see, there's a Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries gameplay going on in the background. I played as Leon on the island, but the gameplay is only about 8.5 minutes long. The video will continue after the gameplay stops, but at that point it will just be a black screen. So I apologize for that, but there are just far too many things to say for me to just restrict myself to 8 minutes, so I apologize. I'm recording this video on December 31st, 2017, actually, the day before the new year, and this video should serve the purpose of fully explaining everything that has been going on since the end of this past August. I'm sure all of you have noticed that there has been very little activity on this channel since I began my law school career, and since Bosniancheese officially took over most of the responsibilities in regard to running the channel and making videos. As of the night I am making this video, it has actually been 2 months, approximately 2 months, since you have seen any videos from us, and it has been approximately 4 months since you have seen any videos with me in them. I wish I could say the explanations for our absence could be explained by just one simple factor, but it has actually been a multitude of factors that have attributed to our hiatus. To begin, as you all know by now, I started law school this past fall, and I am currently halfway through my first year. For those wondering, my first semester has been very successful thus far. However, I can't accurately comment as to how I did because we are not getting our grades back for a couple more weeks still, but I do feel really good about how I did on my finals, honestly. Let me just say that this past semester has easily been my absolute busiest semester that I've ever endured. Law school is not a joke, and it's hardly something you can easily breeze through, as I mostly did through my undergrad. I definitely spent more time working on school per week this past semester than I have any other semester during my undergrad. But the one upside to this situation is that this is the first semester in a very long time that I haven't had a job. So in terms of actual free time, I've actually had more this past year, I guess this past semester, than I have during my senior year of undergrad. So that's something. But of course, time isn't everything. And the stress factor in law school compared to my undergrad experience was much higher. And that was easily something that contributed to my absence. Of course, I'm actually sure that a lot of you were expecting me to take some time off since I did not know exactly what to expect with law school in terms of the amount of time I would need to devote to it. Let me say now, looking back, I'm definitely glad I did not commit to making videos at the time because it was clearly a good decision in case I was unable to handle the workload combined with school. However, I can easily say now that I would have had time to commit to making a video or two a week for the first 2/3 of the semester. I would say I never spent more than about 30 hours a week working on school and attending class for those first 2/3. But the last third, when I had to write my final paper and study for all my final exams, I know I for sure would not have had time to work on YouTube at all. Of course, having this knowledge now, I can go into the next semester with a better idea of the time management required in law school. This means that I will likely be able to work on small and or collaborative series for a lot of the remainder of the school year. And also, just in case you're curious, I enjoyed law school very much, and this has easily been my most fun semester of higher education yet. I'm learning about what I am passionate about and what I plan on doing for the rest of my life, so I can't complain too much. Now, as I just expressed, although I did feel as though I had time to commit to YouTube somewhat in the beginning, during those first 2/3 of the semester, I did not really feel comfortable committing to it in case it would have interfered with the balance I had finally struck with my time management, which took a while to sort of create anyway. And that's clearly one of the reasons why I did not commit to videos at that time. Another reason was that I actually got sick for about a month. I'd say it was a month. It was sometime in the middle of October when I got sick, and I basically just stayed sick the entire time. I actually got 2 separate colds during that time. Neither of them were serious, but I know they were 2 separate colds because there was a period of 5 days where I just felt perfect. But of course, that was around the time, everyone's getting sick around that time. I'm just around a ton of sick people in law school, and of course, no one skips class in law school, so everyone's bringing their sicknesses in, which is annoying, but I did the same thing, so I can't really complain. I basically had a continuous cough throughout. Like I said, it wasn't serious. It was mostly just a cough. But that makes it very difficult to commentate. And by the time I felt better, things had just gotten far too busy in law school anyway, so I just decided to not continue YouTube for the remainder of the semester. So now you know what's been going on with me. There's nothing too terribly complicated about the situation. It's just a mixture of starting law school, getting sick, and things eventually just getting far too busy to commit to continuing to make videos. But now we need to talk about Bosniancheese. As I mentioned, Bosniancheese officially took over a majority of the responsibilities we share on the channel when I started law school, because I knew I just wouldn't be able to commit the same amount of time I have for the last couple of years. It was just that simple. However, the transition was not nearly as smooth. It was not nearly as smooth as we planned. Real quick, I don't want it to sound as though I blame Bosniancheese for the transition being poor, because a majority of it had nothing to do with him. And for the remainder that did have to do with him, I still don't blame him for, because he had good reason. And I'll explain all of this right now. First, we had a ton, and I mean a ton, of technical difficulties that ranged from, Bosniancheese's computer and other equipment failing or needing to be upgraded or just generally being faulty, to having bugs in our editing software that caused videos to become corrupted, to cause video quality to go down, just a number of problems. I can't even list them all. There was just that many. Another thing was that since Bosniancheese did not have a lot of editing experience at the time under his belt regarding our gaming videos, he had to, of course, take some time to learn or relearn how to do a lot. There are just certain things you need to do when editing these videos that requires heavy attention to detail and quality assurance. Although these things are simple in theory, it's pretty complicated and difficult to make consistently high quality videos without having a ton of practice. If any of you have ever attempted to make a video before, I'm sure you can understand. We've all been there, but either way, this was likely the smallest part of the problem, and the technical difficulties far outweighed this as an issue. We easily had an entire month's worth of technical difficulties. And of course, each time you actually attempt to make a video and have it fail, it's very unmotivating to attempt to redo it immediately, or sometimes even anytime soon. As Bosniancheese have definitely expressed before on this channel, we hate redoing videos. So if there's a problem that forces us to have to do that, we usually take a few days break at least, so that we can gain the necessary motivation back to try again. Further, the entire last month and a half has been basically final exam time and 2 holiday breaks, being Thanksgiving and winter break. And as you all likely know by now, Bosniancheese doesn't stick around town for the breaks, so videos are not done during that time. Finally, there's one last major thing that has been preventing Bosniancheese from making more videos than he has been. Alongside this one last big reason are simple things like continuing to have a social life, working on school, among other things. But this one last big thing is actually one of Bosniancheese's passions: music. Although Bosniancheese doesn't talk about it much on the channel, he's actually a rapper, and in my opinion, he has a lot of talent. Of course, talent is just the first step when it comes to anything you like or are good at. There's always something that needs to be learned to get better. He's been spending these last few months building a sound booth, writing lyrics, upgrading his sound equipment, and of course, rapping and learning how to produce and mix his music. I'm sure it's clear that both Bosniancheese and I have passions that are important to us, which are more important than YouTube. Law has been keeping me away from videos, and music has been keeping Bosniancheese away from his videos. That's just how it is. This doesn't mean we don't enjoy making videos or interacting with you all, but there will always be something more important going on than making a YouTube video, and that's a simple fact for both Bosniancheese and myself. Honestly, though, I don't know why I'm spending so much time justifying why we have been away or why we aren't taking YouTube so seriously, because we honestly have the best fans there can be. No one, and I mean no one, has been rudely complaining about us being away, criticizing us for our absence, or anything else negative at any point during these last few months. I cannot thank you all enough for your constant support and extreme patience. We both appreciate the ongoing respect that we continue to receive from our subscribers, and we definitely do not plan on quitting YouTube or failing you. I didn't know if that was clear, so I felt as though I definitely needed to say that. Now, I don't want you all thinking that both of us have been totally away from YouTube these last few months, because that would not be anywhere near the truth. Firstly, we have some new equipment. As I'm sure you all know, we have always had just one capture card, an HD PVR2 Gaming Edition, what we've had for the last 2.5 years, and one microphone, an Audio-Technica AT2020, which has also been with us since the start. Well, this past November, my brother actually gave me his old HD PVR2 Gaming Edition because they upgraded to an Elgato. And I also purchased a new Audio-Technica AT2020 microphone. Now, both Bosniancheese and myself have one PVR2 and one Audio-Technica mic each. Therefore, we can both create content simultaneously, and we no longer have to lug around our equipment to each other's places. Having two of everything has been something we've been planning on for a while, and it finally made sense now that Bosniancheese had his own place to himself and had the necessary privacy to be able to record at his place. Further, we have mic stands now, both of us. Bosniancheese has a floor stand, and I have a desk arm, which I'm actually using right now. We also finally got pop filters, one for each of us, just to improve our quality that much more. Next, Bosniancheese has actually started 3 new series on our channel, which I'm sure you've seen at this point. There's NBA 2K18 My Career Mode, which he has cleverly named My Bosnian Career. There's NBA 2K18 Online, which is a similar format to his previous 2K16 and 2K17 online series. And Assassin's Creed Unity, the first game in this series to be on our channel. Of course, because of all the reasons I listed before, not many videos have actually been released for any of those series, or for our 4th current series, Halo 2 Anniversary. Did I say that weird? Anniversary. Just a quick note, none of these series are canceled or are planned on being canceled. They are all, in fact, planned on being completed, so don't worry about that. Next, we've actually dropped some hints, primarily on Facebook, about a big side project we've been working on. We've actually been working on it for 4 months now, so you can imagine just how time-consuming it is. Most of the time we've spent on our YouTube career these past 4 months has been spent primarily working on this side project. So it's not really a side project, it's like a primary project. I can't get into all the details right now, but just know that the video that comes from the side project will be an awesome product. That's really all I can say. Actually, I can tell you one other thing. Its purpose is to celebrate a milestone of ours on this channel. So if you can figure out what the milestone is, it'll give you sort of a big hint. Next up, I'm going to go over something I've already touched on, our current series that we have up. First, we have our collaboration series, Halo 2 Anniversary, which currently has 5 episodes, the last of which went up almost 7 months ago. We have now, on 2 occasions actually, attempted to record episode 6, but it failed both times due to technical difficulties. So, you can just imagine how frustrating that was. Second, we have one of Bosniancheese's solo series, NBA 2K18 My Bosnian Career, which is actually the career mode of 2K18, in case that wasn't clear. Third is another one of Bosniancheese's solo series, NBA 2K18 Online. And finally, we have Assassin's Creed Unity, the last of Bosniancheese's current solo series. These last 3 series that I just listed have not had any uploads in the last 2 months. Now, I can't tell you exactly when any of these series will continue again, and that's because our side project is actually very time sensitive at the moment, and it is the current, it's the current priority over everything else going on right now. However, everything is planned on being completed, as I said before. Wow, this video actually didn't take as long as I thought it would, but it's probably time to wrap up. For me, it's almost New Year's Day, which is also my birthday, by the way, and I'm really excited for 2018. I hope this video really helped to shed a lot of light as to what's been going on these last 4 months. I know it's been probably really annoying to be so in the dark. You know, I've made Facebook posts, but a lot of them don't really give you any answers like this video does, so I really hope it helped out a lot. I appreciate you all sticking around to the end of this video. I know it was probably a lot to take in, but I hope you enjoyed the gameplay as well. And please, if you have any questions or concerns, please comment below, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And of course, since the questions have to do with us, my ability should suffice. I hope you all had a great holiday season, and I wish you all a happy new year, and I can't wait to see you all back here again when we finally return with some videos. Thank you so much, and have a good night.